It's such a wonderful class. These people are so sweet and wonderful and funny. The first guy coming to the stage is the sweetest Marine you'll ever want to meet. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you Brad Foster!
Thank you, Johnny. Thank you, Charlottesville. I loved watching you guys came in. It was like watching high school on the first day of school. You filled in from the back to the front. In fact, there were 3 seats in the front row, and there are 3 people sitting in the back on like a table. They were like, I'm not sitting in the front row. Relax, I left my Sledge-O-Matic and my watermelons for the other show. It's good to be back in Charlottesville. I was in California last week. Seeing family, and when I called them to tell them that I had booked my flight, everybody said, oh, the kids can't wait to see you. I was like, well, the oldest kid is 6. Why are they excited about seeing? It's because I'm a comedian. Or as they see it, free daycare. Cancel the magician, Brad's coming out for a week. And I was like, man, I don't want to tell jokes to a bunch of 6-year-olds. I don't think they're going to get observational humor. So what's the deal with homework? You know, kids tell old jokes, and I can't tell old jokes. It's just not in me. So I was like, well, if I'm going to do this, I need to come up with stuff they'll understand, but kind of put a new spin on it. So I came up with a segment that I called New Old Jokes. I like those restaurants where they combine things to show you the other side of food. I was at one the other day where they crossed the chicken with the road. A banana goes to a doctor. He says, doctor, I'm tired of being a fruit. So the doctor hits him in the head with a brick and says, there, now you're a vegetable. 2 monkeys are in a tree, Pete and repeat. Pete falls out. Who's left? No, none of them, because monkey see, monkey do. Ah, see what I did there? A banana goes to a psychiatrist, says, doctor, I'm tired of being a fruit. The psychiatrist says, try dating women. Ding dong.
Who's there?
Oh, shoot, you actually got that.
Yeah.
I was kind of counting on you not getting that was a knock-knock joke. I had this whole thing planned.
Sorry.
Can we go back, and I'm going to say it again, and you know what, forget it, moving on. A banana goes to a mad scientist, says, doctor, I'm tired of being a fruit. So the mad scientist puts him in a machine and pulls the lever and turns him into an orange. He says, I told you I was tired of being a fruit. He says, well, yeah, but orange, you glad you didn't stay banana? And those are my new old jokes. It was a great trip. I got to see all of my family. In particular, I got to see my namesake, my Uncle Brad, and my brother who lives in San Diego. He drove up and I got to see him, and it was great. And I love them both, but the problem is that they are these like self-righteous, organic, hippie know-it-alls. A while ago, my uncle told me about this movie called How Your Meat Is Made. He said, if you watch this movie, you'll never want to eat meat again as long as you live. So when I flew out, he said, what'd you think of the movie? I was like, well, I didn't watch it. How come? Well, you told me that if I watched it, I'd never want to eat meat again. I thought you were trying to warn me. He said, I was. You did. Why would I not want to eat meat again? That doesn't even make sense. And individually, they're easy to manage, but when they get together, they're like the Wonder Twins of self-importance. There is literally nothing you can do that does not invoke a lecture from them. You can't even chew gum around them. My uncle's like, you know all those gum companies use animal testing in their product, right? No, I didn't know that. So I spit it out. My brother's like, dude, you just littered. Like, what's the big deal? Dude, gum is rubber and rubber is plastic, and plastic takes 10,000 years to decompose. That means your great-great-great-great-great-great-great-granddaughter is going to be flying along in her hover car, suck that bubblicious through her laser carburetor, crash and die, and it'll be all your fault. My next mistake came when I tried to make lunch for them. I was like, hey guys, you want a roast beef and turkey sandwich? You ever try and catch the words as they're coming out of your mouth and put them back in? It doesn't quite work. And they just looked at me and they're like, that depends. Is it free range organic? No, it's Oscar Mayer. They looked at me like I had just started a joke with the words, 2 Jews walk into a barbecue. We don't eat tortured meat. Tortured meat? That beef was broken over a rack, and that bird was dipped in boiling oil. Well, if you wanted ribs and fried chicken, all you had to do was ask. You got that, they didn't. I said, I tried to compromise. I was like, well, why don't I just make you a veggie sub? I can put some lettuce, tomato, cucumbers, you know. How's that sound? That depends. Is it free range organic? Right, I forgot about the roaming herds of buffalo lettuce. How could I be so stupid? My brother gets on a tangent. He's like, you know how many pesticides are on those vegetables? They are the worst thing you can put in your body. I'm pretty sure he had more he wanted to say, but he had to go outside and smoke a cigarette. I couldn't even give them the bread that we had for the same reason. So basically for lunch we just sat there and spit on them. Because they wouldn't even drink the water because that's where the government puts its mind control juice or I don't know what. It was I changed my shirt. I turned around and they're looking at me like I'm a priest in the condom aisle. You wear Nike products?
My space modulator.
Thank you. Yeah, I wear Nike products. Is there something wrong with that? No. As long as you're okay with your clothes being dyed with the blood of children slave labor in Asia. What country?
Oh.
China. Oh fuck, they got plenty. I was starting to get a little annoyed at this point. Not annoyed enough to tell my brother that my shirt was 100% cotton. I don't even want to know what that lecture would have been like, but annoyed nonetheless. I said, you know what, Josh, I think I'm just going to go for a walk. Is that okay? That depends. On what? Have you apologized to the Chippewa whose land you stole you're now about to walk on? I didn't steal the Indians' land. I don't even own my own home. I live in Dad's basement. So I didn't steal squat, right? But he wasn't about to let it go. So now we're just in total war, right? Right wing versus left nut. And he's wagging his finger at me. He says, you know, the Native American didn't have a word for ownership of land until the white man came. I said, well, if that's true, then we didn't steal shit from them, so back off! You care about your precious Mother Earth so much, why don't you go find a nice big oak tree out there and hang yourself from it? He says, I would if you had a rope made out of hemp, but all we got is nylon because the government ran a smear campaign against hemp because they didn't want their stock and fiber to go down. I said, no, the reason we don't have a rope made out of hemp is because you smoked it. And try telling me that was free range organic. Thanks a lot, guys. You've been great.